Welcome back, everyone. Our next speaker is Paul Chen, Chairman of Taiwan Center Foundation of Greater Los Angeles.
Hi, folks. Hope everybody can hear me. First, I'd like to thank TJCCLA for hosting this business virtual expo. Very interesting. I'm also learning the ropes or walking into kind of like playing the RPG virtual room game itself. I'm here today, although this is a business expo, and I'm also personally affiliated with the Taiwanese American Chamber of Commerce for many years. Just over the years, my role is by networking with the business folks and as well as community folks. I see there's a lot of need and room to grow in terms of the networking among the Taiwanese Americans. And that's why I put myself into this position. I joined the Taiwan Center Foundation of Greater LA over 10 years ago, and currently as part of the director of the board, I am chairing that foundation. The center itself was started 22 years ago. Also, the founder was actually our TACCLA founder, Ken Jong Wang, 22 years ago. He essentially just donated a big piece of property in the city of Rosemead in Southern California. It's a community center. We have our own auditorium, boardrooms, library, so facilities that we like to have Taiwanese Americans, as well as the local community citizens to tap into. But it's more focused on the Taiwanese Americans. Stuff that we do are more heritage, educational, historical, and advocacy for Taiwanese Americans. We have currently the board consists of 30 seats. 20 of them are individuals, and 10 representing community organizations. Many of our organizations are such as the Taiwanese American Medical Association, Women's Association, and Regional Taiwanese American Associations. We're happy to receive comments and ideas on running the center itself. We have our own staff, a couple of people, and so we do perform operations, and we rent out facilities at the center for use. Some of the annual activities that we perform, we do have a series of programs that in the month of May that's related to Taiwanese American Heritage Week in the month of May. We have an annual pageantry, Miss Taiwanese American Beauty Pageant. The ladies are very outstanding. The court, after they win, they continue to participate with the Taiwanese American activities and serve as our ambassadors. We run a Thanksgiving dinner for the Taiwanese students that are studying abroad in the US. We run an annual fundraising dinner, which consists of, we usually invite keynote speakers, dignitaries and officials from Taiwan to keep us abreast of the events in Taiwan. We also run language schools for kids and adults alike, Taiwanese language. We hope to add Hakka language. We have Japanese language. We also have drama schools for kids. One of my goals for the Taiwan Center is to sort of get more new generation involved. Many of our younger generation entrepreneurs and businesses, as they become more successful, they also have a strong sense of community. And in the nonprofit section itself, we're embarking on a Capitol building project currently in the planning and approval process, which is a big building. We're gonna rebuild our current facility, and the chief goal is to have sustainability, because annually we have to go through fundraising to obtain operating funds. And thanks over the years, over the past 22 years, every year we do a fundraising. But the younger generation with their work and their careers, it seems a tougher task. And so we want to build this building and have facilities in there for future rental and having operating funds automatically to run projects and activities going forward. So sustainability and new generation participation. And so we welcome younger generation folks to join the board and to join us, give us feedback on the programs that you think will attract our new generation. And we want to really clearly identify with the Taiwanese American group itself, and hopefully keep it going continually. That's all I have to say. And again, I thank TJCCLA for hosting this event. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Paul, for your continued support throughout the years. It's just been a delight seeing you, grow into this role and keep growing into all the different roles. And we're just so grateful to have you here today. And I hope everyone can go check out Taiwan Center and support the continued growing programs that they have over there.
Thank you, Yang. Website is taiwancenter.org. And we have our own Facebook page as well. So
awesome.
Do join us. Yeah.
Like on Taiwan Center. Thank you, Paul. With us next is Andy Lin, Artistic Director of Creative Nonprofit New Asia Chamber Music Society. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay. Hi, thank you, everyone. Thanks to, first of all, I want to thank TJCCLA for this opportunity to share my music society with you. My name is Andy Lin. I'm the artistic director and co-founder of the New Asia Chamber Music Society. I'm also the founder and CEO for the Lingogo International. I'm from the TJCC New York and is the Secretary General for TJCC North America this year. Myself is a professional viola and erhu player, and I'm probably the only active performer in the world who specialize in both Western and Eastern music. So New Asia CMS was established in 2010. We have the highest caliber of musicians on our roster and seek to bring the highest quality of performances to our audience, as you can see from all the videos. So most of our musicians are graduates of the American most prestigious schools, such as the Juilliard School and the Curtis Institute. And many of us have won top prizes in international competitions, such as the Queen Elizabeth competition and Tchaikovsky competition. Because myself specialized in both Western and Eastern classical music, I believe when attending a 2-hour-long concert, listening to one type of music is no longer enough for the audience. People are thirsty to listen and to enjoy as many different kinds of music and sound as possible. I also do believe music is a language where there is no boundary, and cross-culture is definitely one of the trends these days in the art world. So each concert we present, we always incorporate Eastern elements in the Western classical music. And every year we also commission new works from living Asian composers, and we'll do the world premiere in New York. And many times we will bring the pieces on the road to different venues and countries. New Asia CMS, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. The society functions based on our generous supporters and donors, as well as our friends and audiences. And all the donations are tax deductible. Each year we host our biggest fundraising event in New York City, our annual gala, which usually happens in the fall. I welcome you to check our website at www.newasiacms.org. Get to know us, make donations if you like, as well as to attend our events and concerts throughout the year. We also do travel to different countries, to different states to perform. So if you ever need performances, just let us know and we'll make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, for your introduction to music. And I feel, being a creative person myself, I feel the creative field really helped everyone during the pandemic, especially, right, with entertainment, music. Everyone was stuck at home, and those were the things that kept us, kept our sanity while we were at home. So we really appreciate what you guys bring in terms of bringing music into both Eastern and Western, into keep that alive into our society nowadays, which is very much needed.
Thank you. Last year has been quiet, but hopefully things will be kicking off.
Yeah, we're very excited. I mean, the world needs creative people, and the creative field. It's always kind of forgotten, but in times like the pandemic, it's one of the most needed for mental health and just keep the spirits up. So I'm just glad that your group keeps the hope alive, keeps the creativity alive.
Doing our best. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Our last speaker is J.D. Chang, founder of Crushing the Myth.
Okay, hi everyone. Can you all hear me? Hopefully. I want to say thank you so much to TJCCLA and Cindy for inviting me to come and speak. And thanks so much to all the attendees and all the other awesome presenters. So I'm going to talk about two companies today because I realized in the first networking session that this is a group of Taiwanese and Taiwanese American leaders. I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll talk about two companies that I'm a part of. So I'm JD, and I was born in Taiwan, but when I was 6, I went to the U.S. and pretty much pretty much grew up in the United States. In the last 10 years or so, I've been traveling back to Taiwan, and in the last 2 years, I've been in Taiwan mostly. So I'm currently in Taipei. I'm speaking to you from Taipei. And my background is in technology and entrepreneurship. So I've started companies in AI, big data. I even worked in politics in DC. And when I got back to Taiwan, I realized as I was meeting more and more Taiwanese companies that there is a gap, right? Everybody says that Taiwan makes really fantastic technology and products, but Taiwan, especially young startups or even older 中小企业 like SMEs, they struggle with getting that product to the world markets. So with my background, having done 20 years in B2B, BD, business development and B2B, I want to fulfill that gap. I've since started a BD consulting company in Taiwan, and we focus specifically on B2B business development from either Taiwan to international or international into Taiwan. We do things like IP licensing, business channel development, reselling, distribution, and we primarily do B2B. We have a small team of 5 people, and we have 3 clients right now in biotech, VR, and also education. I'll leave this section with just kind of this idea. When I got back to Taiwan, everybody, will say startups. Everybody says Taiwan startups make really good products, but founders really struggle to sell their things internationally. I would say in my experience, I want to clarify that a little bit. I've actually found that Taiwan is very good at selling. If you've ever been to a night market, you know what selling is. 谈价, right? So you negotiate. You have features, and then it's pricing. I believe what Taiwan could use more of is actually business development globally, right? Business development is the idea that you have a product and you may not know how it fits into that market yet, but you creatively work with another company to open revenue channels. And then after that, sales comes through and sells into it. So that's what we do in Taiwan. And in fact, we speak both we speak English and Mandarin, and we work in both English and Mandarin. And we want to bring that type of knowledge and that type of passion, really, for strong business development to Taiwan to bring Taiwanese companies internationally. So that is a little bit, that company is called PMF Strategy. And again, feel free to email me or go to the website. I think it's just easier for me to talk today than throw a bunch of slides up. But please feel free to go to pmfstrategy.com to see any more things about that. So now I'm going to transition real quick to Crushing the Myth. So Crushing the Myth is a different project. It's a passion project of mine. While I was in the U.S., I was the board of a few nonprofits. I was part of Taiwanese American Professionals TAP, and then also Austin Asian American Film Festival in Austin, where I have a home. And one of the things that I feel strongly about is Asian Americans, not just Taiwanese, but all Asian Americans, being able to share their thoughts and perspectives to mainstream society. So food, fashion, film, photography, music, entertainment, all of it. In fact, before the pandemic, my goal was to launch an annual Asian American Culture Con, a little bit like South by Southwest in Austin, where I'm from. So with that, I started a website called Crushing the Myth. And now it is kind of turned into a news aggregator of Asian American news and headlines. So we don't write the news, but we aggregate all of the Asian American news from CNN to Business Insider to Esquire, Teen Vogue, all in one place, all in one site, so that you can easily see the conversation around news, headlines, and newsmakers in Asian America. And we believe that going forward over the next few years, right, Asian American news will be more in demand, and then hopefully Asian American media organizations will be more popular because marketers will want to cater to Asian American millennial audiences and people that care about Asian American thought. So that's crushing the myth. Yes, how to make your bubble tea sustainable is absolutely an article that I think should be written, and I know we've aggregated a few of them. So please visit Crushing the Myth for Asian American news and headlines. Again, we aggregate from all the different news sources in one easy way. And then there you go. And then also, if you're in Taipei or if you're in Taiwan, please reach out. I would love to talk to you. You know, B2B is what I'm very passionate about, and business development. And thank you again for allowing me the time to speak.
Thank you so much, JD. It was really great that you pointed out that entrepreneurship, and when you were saying that, it kind of took me back to when President Tsai came to the United States maybe 2 years ago, I think, and she actually mentioned that how we erase borders, how we encourage innovation is not through politics, but through business, through entrepreneurship, through the newer generations of Taiwanese, overseas, kind of making their mark as the quality people that has grown all over the country, and then connecting back to Taiwan and connecting that awareness back. So I'm so happy that you have that outlet, and from just not just Asian, but especially Taiwanese people that are just so sometimes hidden and not unknown to the world. So thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thanks, Jan. Yeah, thank you. And thank you everyone for being a part of this today.
Well, thank you everyone for participating in this year's Taiwanese American Virtual Expo, supporting local and national Asian American entrepreneurship and encouraging growth in our community. We want to thank our sponsors and you, our viewers, for supporting us and making this expo such a success. Now, the networking floor will be open until 7:30 Pacific time. And please make sure to visit our speakers on their floors and linger. If you have any lingering questions, feel free to ask them. I actually got a chance to meet a few of you, and some of you are kind of finding your way into entrepreneurship. So feel free to ask TACC, TJCC, anybody, anyone in the booths will be locals supporting entrepreneurship. So then they'll have answers to your questions. I hope you enjoyed this evening's events, and I'll see you next time.